pretty far behind. It's 12:46, so I'm trying to respect everyone's time for the 1 o'clock schedule here. Anybody have any pressing things that you can dip out for right away? Very good. All right, so this right here is a introduction into our PowerPoint presentation that we give to all of our clients. So I'll custom make them and tailor them to whatever you guys need. But this one covers the majority of residential sales. So when we go in and we're meeting with both the homeowners, which we're going to get more into this later, the point is to sit down to meet with both the customers and really explain who Shamrock is. And this presentation makes it easy to always stay on track and be repeatable so you can be perfectible and being able to, basically be able to close your eyes and do this presentation. The presentation is designed to answer any questions they may have and to help get you to closing them down. So the way that it's designed is from the start, it's telling you who we are, what we do, how this stuff works, and how to get them to the finish line. So I'll go in, I'll set down my computer with both homeowners, and I will start this presentation. So at the beginning, it'll be set up on my screen just like this, and I will start off like this. So I wanted to show and share with you a little bit about who Shamrock is, who we are as a company and as an organization. We're a local roofing contractor here in Fort Myers. We specialize in anything roofing related. And then we have a couple services outside of roofing, but primarily our main focus is roofing. So this is just a general description of who we are, what we do. Right after the storm, we service Sanibel like crazy. There's a huge need for our services out there. And here's a couple of projects that we were doing out there on the island after we finished shopping center. So this is more or less you start this and you let them watch this visual, and while they're watching the visual, you kind of see we're the real deal. It's an introductory point to explaining to them who you are. So there's a couple pictures here. This has music that plays to it as well. It's not made for speakers for some reason. So I'll turn this on, kind of let them watch it, and they'll get to kind of see what's on here. I'll let this finish out. And you guys have flow with it in each one of your tabs.
And so as we advance and like really from this point on, is we really want to advance you guys and start grooming and give you guys all the tools that we use and help you guys build up your sales system. Right. And so you're going to glean a ton of things from Julius. There's some things that principle that like, hey, when you start your sales process, this is what we expect. But you're also going to groom your sales process and glean from all these people that use different techniques and different factors, how they sell, relational, direct, all these different things that we're going to equip you with. So really try to understand the difference between, principled approach of our system and your sales style, right?
So during that video, you just got to see all the different rooms that popped up. I put myself into it. I'll try to create one for each one of you. So that way they're seeing your face over and over again on any projects. But during that presentation, I'm going through and saying, yeah, you can see that's me, blue shirt up there on that roof right there. That's us basically printing out a custom-made CNC roof set. Shamrock is a fast and effective roofing contractor. We specialize in both asphalt paving and roofing. Right here are some of the owners. You can see on the left, there's Bobby and Bob and myself. We've been serving our community for the last 24 years. We're all about giving back to the community. Just ask our customers. They love Shamrock. So we say from the roof to the driveway, we've got you covered since 1998. Shamrock, when we say Shamrock, we mean Shamrock as the blanket. Shamrock Asphalt Services. Shamrock has completed over 20,000 projects. Again, it's asked the customer, ask our customers, they want Shamrock. So this video here, which we should get the volume to play, is a video that I do on every single one. I start from the driveway, showing their driveway, the neighbor's house, something that they could see is like, oh, hey, that is my house. and then I do a full video. So I'll try to do it since the sound isn't there. This is how it goes. Hey, how's it going? This is Julius with Shamrock. I just wanted to bring you up on the roof today and show you what it is that we're looking at up here and some of the things that we're going to be looking for today. So right off the bat here, you can see this flat roof. You've had some coatings done. Obviously, some repairs have been done to this portion of the roof. I don't know if you currently have issues with this roof, but this is definitely an area that I see you've had some issues with before, and I can see some issues that are going to start to pop up that you'll probably experience again. So we want to get this taken care of as soon as we possibly can. Now, moving on to the rest of the roof here, I was looking at your tiles. You can see that there's some tiles across the roof here that have some cracks and breaks and fractures. Some of them can be from foot traffic, but a lot of the roof tiles that I see that are broken here are actually from uplift. If you come down here, you'll see this tile that obviously something struck it. That's why it broke it in that area. It also could be from it flexing back. This tile here is a discontinued tile product. You can see here on the back the label. This is an Integra tile that has been discontinued for a long time, so we can't find these tiles, which is why the insurance companies make us replace it. It's a W-style tile. You can see it's flat on the bottom there. So there's some other tiles on the roof that I've also noticed. You can see your neighbor behind you there. They've got a brand new roof. So obviously there was some damage here because people aren't just replacing, $50,000 to $100,000 tile roofs for fun. And your roof is a great example of exactly what we'd be looking for to give you a full replacement. So you can see other areas here where there's manufactural defects in the tiles, mortar that's slipping out, tiles that are falling off of your roof. You can see cracks and breaks across the tiles themselves as I kind of pan over the roof here. So I'll take you to this back section here where you can see a couple chipped and broken tiles. There's one right there. There's a few more across the roof. I'll take you over to this other slope, which is your left slope, as we do everything directly in front of the house. And I'll kind of walk you over. You can see some more chips and breaks in these tiles here. There's another one up there. It's from moving and shifting. And from the wind, whenever the wind starts to uplift these, they start to chatter, which causes a lot of these tiles to break. Corner cracks can occur from heat expansion. But you have ones like this here where they're broken out from underneath. So that tells me that the tiles were chattering, causing the overlap to actually break. So from what I can see up here, your roof has wind damage. You can see how nice and tight that section of the roof is there. That's the way it should be, but there are other areas like I showed you where the tiles are uplifting. So the majority of the roof that we're looking at here does have some indications of wind damage from wind coming through the neighborhood and uplifting this section of the roof. When I come here to the front, wanting to check wall flashing, stuff like that. Everything up here looks like it's in pretty good shape. So I'm assuming the wind is coming from the back. So something basic and generic like that, when you're actually listening to this video and you hear me speaking, you're hearing the tiles creaking and cracking and moving, right? You're skidding, you hear me slide that tile, pull that tile out, showing them what the underlays are, explaining to them what type of roofing system they have. So this video is designed to make them take ownership of their damage. It's not my damage, it's not Shamrock's damage, it's your damage. So this is your roof. And so what you'll find is if you do this video correctly, the husband and wife are sitting there like, oh wow, oh my gosh, that's like that. They're talking to the video. They're like asking questions, and it's so interactive that I don't have to say anything. Within this video, I'm trying to talk about pricing. I'm trying to talk about things that are kind of uncomfortable to have a face-to-face interaction with. So I'm putting them out there. Right, this roof costs you $60,000. Your deductible is $10,000. I want to make sure that you understand that this is going to cost you $10,000. Hopefully, that's something you guys can afford to do today. Right. So, what we do is we can provide a retail quote here on the spot. It's pretty fast and easy, but what you're looking for right now is a basic roofing invoice or estimate. That's what it would look like. But because you have wind damage to your insurance company is going to be the ones to put together an itemized report or scope of work that you're going to need. So this is what they're looking for. This is what you guys think you're looking for, but this is what ends up happening. So On the left-hand side, you can see where it says 57.92 squares, and down on the bottom in red, you'll see $29,432.10. The left, and I'll cover it on my screen. So I'll cover it this side. On the left side, this is what the insurance company said in the very beginning, that this is how much it's going to cost to replace it. And these line items are the items that they said needed to replace. So what ended up happening is when everything was all said and done, the insurance company, they determined the price. We determine if it's a fair price, and if it is a fair price, we'll accept. So at the end of the project, you can see again, that's still that same 57.92 square roof. They included stuff like overhead and profit, and obviously you can see all of the line items that they added to the original estimate, bringing the total to a total of $51,851. So there's a $20,000 difference between the start and the end. We didn't determine that price or that number. The insurance company did, and this is what they ended up paying for this roof. So people are always like, "Oh, okay, now I kind of understand. I thought I had to work with this $30,000 they gave me, and was worried because I had the roofing quotes that came higher than the estimate. They don't have to worry about that. Their prices, they're deductible." So what we do is we provide an accurate reason. You're giving this presentation. I made it easy enough to just read it. Okay. Eventually, you can kind of start to make it a little bit. This is an example of our Eagle View, which is an accurate estimate used by more than 90% of major insurance companies and roofing contractors for estimating and ordering. When you choose to work with us, we order Eagle View free of charge to you to give you the most accurate piece of line available to know that you're not only getting a fair price, but the most seamless roofing replacement available. So what we do is we use a system called Rooflinks. We're not the roofing contractor who's going to write down, what color you want on a napkin, and then you get the wrong roof put on your house. So we use a system called Rooflinks. We track every single job from start to finish through our CRM, Rooflink. Rooflink allows our entire team to communicate with everybody involved in the roof replacement process, to the supply house, the crew leaders, project managers, the production managers, and your insurance company. We say, roofing is hard enough as it is, why make it any harder? This system helps us to make this process quick and easy. So depending on what type of roof they have, you're going to show them one of these videos. So there's a tile roof installation video. This will pop up. There's sound. It does this whole thing, this tile installation. So you'll basically play this and explain to them. Like, I like to beat these videos up. And this video in particular is sitting there explaining to them how you can use 25% less foam if you use Boral products. We don't cut that corner because we want to ensure they get the best roofing system possible. But the problem is other contractors are going off of their installation guide, which is telling them to use less foam, which is just getting you an inferior roofing product. We've been doing this a long time, so we know that we don't want to cut any corners or give them anything less than what they deserve. So then it goes through and explains how the tiles are made compared to competitors. It's explaining right here in this video how you can use 25% less, blah, blah, blah. You get to see that there. Then if it's a metal roof, there's a basic video like this to kind of give them an understanding, if this is playing, on how, we're going to strip the roof down to the deck. We'll inspect the deck to make sure that it's good. We'll lay down and peel and stick underlayment, a high temp underlayment that'll go up onto your roof. We're going to custom manufacture every single panel that's going to be installed onto your roof to create a custom roof. After the underlayments are done, we got to put on the eave metal, which we'll have to have all of this done before we call in for the drying inspection. So I'll have to get the video where you guys can hear it so you can hear what it's saying, but it's showing the proper spacings. You're explaining to them how you want to make sure that everything's up to code, blah, blah, blah. How to properly not strip edge so that way it comes together. So I'm showing you, hey, we're detail oriented. You know how this stuff's supposed to work. We're going to cut this corner so that way when you put your rake trims on, everything fits on the flush light, all that good stuff. So you're showing a basic video like that. The next one is just a general overview video of metal roof installs. So this is a roof and pump board up that we did. We tore off the back section because this was during the rainy season. We wanted to make sure that we're only tearing off as much as we know we can get dried in before rain comes in. So we left the front. Even though that stuff looks a mess, it's okay. Then we'll get the panels all measured out and delivered out to the property, at which point we're going to start to custom fabricate each piece, and we'll start to install it up onto the roof with proper brackets for the roof. This part of the video kind of gives you time to talk to the homeowner and explain the metal roofing and how that stuff works to really set yourself up as the professional. And you're just using this type of stuff as a visual. This is also giving them the visual peace of mind to know we're tackling big projects like what you see here, and that their home is just a cakewalk. So you get to see stuff like that. You don't have to play this whole video. If you can gauge out your customer and kind of see, are they like really engaged, wanting to watch every second of this, or do they get it? Right? So they get it and move on. If they're doing a shingle roof, then you'll do this video here. And it's a great video from Owens Corning talking about the duration shingle versus the competitor shingles, how they have the best win rating in the industry because of the sure nail strip technology that is incorporated into it. They have the best win rating. They have the best. They have the least amount of delamination that happens. So on a steeper roof, when the shingles get hot, because the base of the shingle, or sorry, the architectural part of the shingle is laminated or glued onto the base of the shingle. When they get hot, that lower level can start to slip down. So this goes through and explains to them, you know, how the shingle process works and why this is the best possible shingle roof that's out there. What we're trying to do is build value in what we're selling. So we're selling on value, not on price. There's the elimination, blah, blah, blah. This video is extremely important because this part of the video explains to the homeowner how the process works. And so I used another roofing contractor's video because it's really easy to beat up their video while I'm explaining to them, listen, all roofing contractors are going to do the same thing. They're going to, after you sign the contract. So what it says here is after you sign the contract, the project manager is going to come out on site and go over the details of your process. After you sign the contract, project supervisor is going to be out on site to do a walkthrough with you to ensure that every detail is accounted for. When materials are delivered, someone's going to be there to check in all your materials to ensure that everything got delivered. We'll go over the details of the project. Once we're ready to start the job, the crew's going to show up. There's going to be a job supervisor on site. We'll get the roof torn off and start to install underlayments. To ensure quality of details, we're going to go through and we're going to cover your deck. We're going to cover your grills. We're going to cover anything around the property. So if there's anything, I'm saying this to them. So if there's anything around the house you guys want to make sure I protect, make sure you do that because it's like a bomb goes off when your roof is being replaced. Any wood that's that we find that's rotting during the tear out process is going to be cut to be installed the same day that we tear it out. We'll make sure that everything fits and that we can replace that wood so we can get a proper nailable substrate back before we start to install your underlays. So you'll see in this video here, they're installing felt paper and ice and water shield in critical areas. We actually will do the entire roof in ice and water shield. After all that stuff is installed, we're going to go ahead and install a drip edge. They're not doing it to Florida code here because that drip edge would be going over the underlayments and under the underlayments. If there's any flashing that needs to be replaced, we're going to go and take those off and replace them the same day. This is a funny part of the video here because you'll see that this crew is installing these shingles and they're supposed to be installing 4 to 6 nails, but you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 nails.
Yeah.
And they weren't even in line the way they're supposed to be. So that's why we use this video to just kind of funny and showing you how not to do it, but how the process works. So they're installing nailer boards. We shouldn't typically need nailer boards here because roofs aren't that steep, but if they are, we'll put in nailer boards so that it's walkable. Once the roof is all finished, we'll finish out everything on the detail work on the hips and ridges and any ventilation that needs to be done. And so in this video, by the time you hear, like when you hear them talking in the video, they're like, here at How Rich, we do the best roofs possible. But you just sat through and beat this video to death. And so now they understand the process of what it's going to take to tear a roof off and put it on, the process. But to understand the value of who we are and what we do, we use hard competitors. Because look at the underlayments. Does that look right to anybody? So everything's all jacked up on this, but it's a great video. So now that they understand the process, this is continuing into it. So here's how the permit process works here in Florida. The first thing we'll do after you sign the contract is we're going to file for the permit. You're going to have to fill out an NOC and a roofing affidavit form. Once that's done, we'll tear off the roof and then schedule the drying inspection. After the roof passes drying inspection, there's some roofs that are going to need a mid-roof inspection, like tile roofs. They want to see how the first few courses are going on, how the hip and ridge risers were installed. They'll come out there, they'll do an inspection, most of the time the same day, and then we'll get the roof finished, and boom, they'll come out and do the final inspection, and you're done. So we're fully licensed and trained bonded, and if you have an HOA here, it's your responsibility to get the HOA to give approval, and we need proof of that before we'll start renewal here. So all these slides are designed so that you can ask questions. So on this portion here, I'm going to be asking, did your insurance company come out and already issue you a payment? They said, yes, we have the check. Okay, well, that check or draft that was received by your insurance company will include your mortgage company. Is there a mortgage on the house? Yes, there is. Okay. So the mortgage company puts their name on the check to ensure that the work is going to get done. We're going to use free-form conditions. Once the payments are processed, they'll be due to me, your field rep, as a progress payment. You will work with your field supervisor, and even if you take this step, but you have two choices. One, you can contact your mortgage company and go through their process the payment, the step-by-step system. Or two, the form on the right here is a simple contractor affidavit form. You put your member name, your loan number, your address, and the insurance claim amount, and you'll sign off on it, and we'll overnight the checks to them. It expedites the whole process, so that way they know that you have the contractor who has intent to repair to do the job. So what would you like to do? Oh, we'll process it. Okay, great. What is your deductible? That's the next question. Now you're trying to draw, the whole time you're drawing objections, drawing questions and answers, or asking questions, getting answers. So my question from here to here is, what's your deductible? Oh, it's 10,000. Okay, great. Well, we have the option to do no interest for 12 months if you don't have the 10,000. Do you have the 10,000 available now to replace the roof? Yes, we do. Okay, great. No, we don't. Okay, well, here's a couple of the options. If you don't want to do the 12 months, we can go all the way to 138 months for 9.99%. A lot of the times, as soon as you finish saying that, they're going to say, yeah, we want to do it. Okay, great. We'll come back to that. So I want to explain your roof that you have now. So right now you have a good roof. It's just really the original roof that's on the house, or what we call a good grade roofing system. You got felt paper, you got box fence, and you got a pretty low grade shingle. Now what we want you to have is that's the system you can have. Top of the line roofing system, fully adhered on it, solar powered roof deck, spar strips on the eaves and bridges, the whole 9 yards. But what you're going to get is we're going to upgrade your roof with the insurance proceeds that you have to a better roofing system. So we're going to upgrade your roofing system. You're going to get that fully adhered peel and stick underneath. You're going to get improved ridge ventilation, so you're not going back to box fence. So you're going to put starter strips and seal the edges. You're going to go into a duration shingle, which is that shingle I showed you earlier. So that shingle on the market, that one, Timberline HTC through GF. You'll get color match strip edge, throw edge, and a 2-year workmanship warranty. And then on top of that, because we're certified installers through GF and Owens Corning, if you do a GF system, we'll purchase the extended lifetime guarantee for your roof. As long as we're using the 4 to 6 products, it qualifies and we'll take care of it. This one here is where you then turn your computer away from them just a little bit, and you're not reading this to them. That's why I put it really like this. You show them everything. Now you're going to ask them your closing question, which is, other than working this out with your insurance company for the cost of your deductible, is there any other reason why you can't hire me today? And then you just shut up. You just wait. And they're going to say, oh, well, my kids need braces. Okay, great. Well, that's why we have the financing options. 138 months be too long, or is that something that would work for you? Anytime you get an objection that's either time or money, that is a closable job. If it's anything else, then good luck. But if they give you an objection that's time or money, that's a sale that you're that close to making. How do you overcome the objection? So give me an objection. Other than working with your insurance company and cost your deductibles, you're the reason why you can't have it.
Well, how do we know that we're getting the best cost from you?
Because at the end of the day, your cost is actually your deductible. So if you guys wanted to today, that $5,000 deductible that you mentioned, you write me the $5,000 today, and that's it. Everything else is going to come from your insurance company. Did you afford to do the 5,000 today?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Another objection.
I need to think about it.
What do you have to think about if you don't want me asking?
Uh, well, we're going on vacation next month, so I don't know what the timeline is.
So right now our time is actually pretty good and there's no rush. But what I would like to do is get you guys in line because depending on what color you choose today, and you're sitting there pointing at the color brochure that you handed to the wife before you started this whole thing, and she's been looking through it the whole time. Depending on what color you choose, we want to make sure that we at least get your products ordered, so that way when you guys come back from vacation, we can get the roof done. Honestly, if it were me, I would do the roof while you're gone. We're going to take pictures the whole time from start to finish. I could text you if you'd like, but the last thing you want to do, in my opinion, because I've replaced the roof in my own house, I couldn't even make a phone call with so loud in there. Just probably just go away on vacation and let us take care of the roof. You guys are going to have a warranty, so you really have nothing to worry about. So would you want to do the roof while you're gone or when you guys go back?
Yeah, we'll do it while we're gone.
Okay, perfect. So whatever objection it is, there's a time and money objection in it, which is perfect, right? And there's what you're trying to do is draw those objections from them and get that information before you're at the table. Because what I've always said is you're trying to gather ammunition. So at the door, before you start your inspection, I'll say to them, hey, good to see you again. Glad that you guys have me back out here today. If you guys don't know me, what made you guys decide to buy a roof today? They're, whoa, we didn't know we were buying roofs today. Oh, really? What makes you say that? Oh, well, we've got some stuff that's coming up and didn't think that we could get this done so quickly. Oh, we don't know how much it's going to be. We just wanted to get you out here and give us a quote. Okay, great. No problem. Let me get to it. I'll start my inspection. I'm taking that ammunition. I'm putting it in my back pocket for later. And then when I'm at the table and I'm pulling objections, I'm ready to fire, right? So you're trying to gather this information before you get to this part. But after you've been doing this a while and you start to know like how to overcome these objections, this is what's going to get you to it. So they got message from both of them. They're ready to sign the contract. I click to the next slide. You'll click on this link that'll be customized to your Rooflink's account. It's going to throw you straight into Rooflink's, and you're going to go ahead and pull up your own. You're going to pull up your customer's name. Okay, let me pull you up here in the system. I have my estimate that I have created for you right here in the system. We're going to go ahead and get this signed for you real quick. So you'll pop this up. Our system is going to generate this full thing because the full estimate, because we use Rooflinks, it's going to give us a DocuSign document that we can use legally in court if we ever had to say that you're at their house, it's time stamped and location dated. You'll click continue. They'll come down here. They'll say sign on the line. They'll scribble with their finger, adopt and select, click the date, and then typically this is going to be a longer contract. You're going to have a bunch of initials, click, 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 and you're finished. And then I'll go, so they sign it, right? They read through everything, you explain all that stuff, make sure all the details are correct, your vegetable or shingle color, where the shingles are going to be delivered, all that stuff is outlined there. Then I'm going to go to signing it. I'm going to sign it. So I'm going to let them know. Once I finish signing this, we're both going to get a copy of this contract. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this. And here's my signature and the date. Okay, great. That's done. You should be getting an email right now with confirmation of your signed contract. I just wanted to say thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to replace your roof. I'm really excited for it. And I hope you guys are too. Is there anything else that I can do before I leave? And they'll just be like, oh, no, you're great. Thank you so much. That's perfect. Okay, great. If I can, I'll get that check from you for the $5,000 and I'll be on my way. My team will then be contacting you once I turn the job in on Wednesday to let you know our production schedules and calendar and stuff like that. So what the system now has done is it immediately then sends it to our internal office. It says, hey, they signed a contract. So now we have that on the roster, and you guys come in here, you sit down, you go paperwork in order. We'll teach you guys how to do that later, and it'll go through the whole pen and the job will be turned in, and we'll be off the basis. So pretty simple, right?
Within that little, system, there's thousands of variables
Mm-hmm.
that we are gonna, through this training process, we'll have a list of objections like, hey, I need three estimates before I get you to close. That's one of the hardest ones to overcome, but we're gonna really equip to try to help you guys overcome that. That's the biggest hurdle I think we face in the storm. Or after shift years to retail, those are the type things. So those things we have, completely laid out of how to, gain instant credibility using your video, sharing insights, knowing your homeowner, the philosophy behind the sale, the techniques behind the person who's sitting in front of you, and those types of things are things we're going to role play, work through that really make a difference. I mean, 25, 28 years of contracting, 90% of that business is sales, and how all of us have generated those sales and everything we've learned from everybody, consultants that we've hired. Those are the really small, little important things, but that's to facilitate getting you to the place where you're going to pull out that next tool, that next tool, that next tool, that next tool to get that signature on the tape, or how to find that customer.
Yeah.
Lead generation, door knocking, all that stuff.
So the whole idea behind this, and this is why it's just an introduction to the PowerPoint presentation, is you're trying to walk the customer into this area, not stumble into it. Because, you walked around their house for 20 minutes and you sat there and talked about their dog and whatever, right? You stick to the system and it'll lead you to the same place every single time. And so the other question, if it's retail, is other than price or payment, is there any other reason why you can't hire me today? So going back to that, other than working for an insurance company, comes from Deductible, other than price or payment, is there any reason you can hire me today? Okay. That's the end. You thank them and you walk out. So that is all of that stuff there. The last thing they have here is just do you guys have any questions or anything about that first before you push too far past that?
Yeah. So is there an original contingency that we're signing when we do that original inspection? Because
Yes.
a lot of times we won't have all that information yet.
Yep, that's a great question, and that's why I put this in here. So if they don't have their insurance check, if they haven't contacted their insurance company, they have the money to work with, if they need a roof, they want a roof, they're going to buy a roof from you, they'll then sign the contingency agreement, at which point then you move into time to make that call after signing the contingency contract and you're going to assist the customer in filing the claim. Now, in Florida, they just changed that a couple years ago, where you're not supposed to coach them, you're not supposed to help them to file their claim or encourage them to file a claim. So you have to be careful with that stuff. And that's where the video where you're showing them their route just plants that seed of, hey, we have. Yes, you do. Just let me know when the insurance adjuster is coming out here. Some insurance companies and some adjusters will let you meet with them. Some of them won't. So there's insurance companies like Frontline, as my insurance company, that they changed this up a couple of years ago, where if the contractor has been on your job at your house, and you're not allowed to file the claim with them within 24 hours. Isn't that funky?
Oh yeah.
When in places like Ohio, you can sit there and file a claim for them. Hey, this is Julius with Shamrock. I just wanted to let you know I'm
it's you again.
Okay, let's talk to him. Yeah, this okay, friends, we got some damage up here, blah, 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 blah. When can you guys come look at it? Okay, we'll be there on Wednesday. All right, we'll see you then. Down here, it's totally different.
Yeah. We're bringing the legal team in to help, we'll pinpoint those specifics, how you can communicate. And, even in our marketing voice, you got some great marketing campaigns. And I actually have questions that I really need to answer because, there's some gray area, there's black and white. And so we got to kind of refine those to help push the envelope. Like I said, there's 1,000 different variables. They might say, hey, I hired a public adjuster that we shift our gears and deal with that. They say, hey, we got denied already, or we got shorted. We only got $4,000. Oh, we can help you there. This is how we do that. Oh, you got denied. This is how we can help you there. So we're going to help you guys pivot in every single situation. And there's a lot to this. It's that like Joey said, that looks easy, but it's like to facilitate the process to get through all the things that you guys are going to need. So that's the tool out there. And then you're going to have, like I said, hundreds to thousands of tools that you guys can use.
Yeah. So when it comes to the insurance company, it's supposed to be black and white, right? Well, we live in the gray area.
Yeah.
That's where we have to live. We have to live in the gray area, but we're trying to stay away from the black and trying to be in the white. We're trying to be, we're trying to not violate any of the rules and get ourselves in trouble, but you have to live in the gray area because they're just trying to make it more and more difficult for the homeowners to get their pay.
So, like, this is like my main focal point is how do I help that homeowner get what they're entitled to when they're fighting with unfair fighting? That's it. How do I educate? How do I communicate and stay within those parameters of limitations I set so they don't have to help these homeowners? That's my number one goal when it comes to the insurance restoration. That's it the whole time.
And so, like 90% of the storm from last year was all retail.
Yeah.
And now going into year 2, it's going to be 90% insurance, 10% retail. Because the people who have the money and wanted the roofs right away, very done. Now it's only waiting for the money. You still need it. So, we're going to focus heavily now on insurance restoration because it doesn't matter if you're in commercial or in residential. Most of the time here in Florida or any environment that we put you guys in, you're going to be dealing with some kind of storm restoration. And the best avenue for anybody is going to insurance guy because think about this tile roof, right? If you have a $10,000 deductible and a $100,000 roof, most smart people are going to know I'm going to pay that $10,000. If I can get $100,000 for $10,000 and $10,000 for my $10,000, that's a no-brainer. So it's a really, really easy sale, and you guys are going to get really good at the table of just getting that contingency sign, and then have all the steps to walk them through to where there is.
Well, a question for you. What if a lot of homeowners says, "Oh, my insurance isn't playing out"?
Yes, that's a great objection. So, no, like we already paid our deductible. What do you mean? Who did you pay your deductible to? Well, we didn't pay it to anybody. The insurance company already took it out. Okay. Well, if you understand what your deductible is, it's a deduction out of your claim for how much. So the insurance company comes out and they say that your roof is worth $100,000. The insurance company is not in the business of just giving out free money, right? So that $100,000 might not even be enough. So then they deducted another $10,000 out of that. There's no contractors out there who can do that. $10,000 is a lot of money. Your deductible that you agreed upon when you signed your policy with your insurance company is the portion that you agreed to pay in the event of something like this happening. So you let them know this is your responsibility. Now, the avenue that you can go is, do you have other damages to the house? Like, did you get a chip on the paint? They agreed to paint the left side. Did you get a nick that's this big? You can use that money you can use the depreciated value of that money against your deductible. Let's take a look at your insurance claim. I'll break it down for you and see how much your cost is actually going to be. So we have a sheet sitting on a table that's there that is an insurance breakdown form that I created like a year or two ago. And process it, we know on how to break down insurance paperwork. I simplified it into a one-page thing where you can line it all up and everything makes sense. Everything adds up. So the facts out of what the costs are going to be, you guys will get to see all of that stuff. But it works really, really, really well. So you just got to use it. It's going to be in the cover sheet and everything how to try to do it. So we'll jump into this. There's a few basic expectations. Obviously, we'll get more into details on other expectations, but they're pretty simple. At Shamrock here, we expect the highest standards of professionalism in everything that you do, whether you have, your shirt on or not, whether you're on the clock or not. Always maintaining a level of professionalism, which I think is natural for everybody in each room and shouldn't be a hard thing to do. It's extremely important.
You would be surprised, in all the arenas that have worked, that where how professionalism is slack, where if they're working out, they don't bring an extra shirt. When I know I'm going to go stop by a job site, I always have extra shirts. And so if I have another appointment, I'll have deodorant with me. I'll put deodorant on, another shirt on. If I go climbing 2 or 3 hot rows, you're working for it. You're going to stink. You don't want to sit at someone's table and try to close the deal and stink. But you don't. It's surprising how many times I have to check people, and then little things about professionalism is like, when you're branding, we're representing ourselves everywhere. But the goal is to help grow the brand. When we're speeding through traffic or in a hurry and you're in you're representing our brand very poorly because, we get calls in Ohio like, hey, someone speed past us and try to run through, whoa, that's not, and then I have to kind of, do some damage control and things like that. So those things are extremely important. Hygiene, communication, how you drive. People don't think about that type of professionalism. They think about, I'm going to sit and act professional, communicate well, and follow up with my customer. That's not it. It's like how you talk around them, how you always represent the brand, that type of stuff is so important to us. Because we spend a lot of money, and the better we represent our brand, the more it empowers you guys to sell things. Because they're going to always hear and see. It's amazing how small the world is. When you do something that's not professional, how the wrong people are going to find out.
So, even an example, me and Julius one day, we finished our job driving by, stopped, and then there was a trash can all over the road. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we stopped and helped her. She had no idea who we were, and reached back to our
website. She gives a 5-star review.
5-star review, and went to Facebook and wrote like, "Oh my God, this guy stopped by middle of the road, like high traffic, and helped me clean the trash that caused by another person." And so grateful.
Yeah, they're all coming off the island, and some crazy dude in this like magnesium he poured out of smoking all the road. I changed lanes to go around him, not in any manner aggressive or whatever, and there was a ambulance up in front of me. He felt like I cut him off and tried to embrace me or something. He was going through and calling it the company, like, I'm gonna give you guys a 1-star review, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, I'm in traffic next. Sorry. The description of the vehicle. He's like, is that you? I was like, no, sir, I'm in Ohio. This is you need me enough. I'm gonna call him right now. He's fired. And so, just always maintaining that. Obviously, everyone has personal lives. We like to go out and have fun, stuff like that. But if you have a brand on, just make sure you represent the bill. The next thing is having the highest standards of customer service. So that's what's going to separate us from everyone else. Is, man, these guys are fantastic to live with. They always answer the phone. They came, they're professionally dressed. Their trunks look nice. All that stuff is super important. And really having that mentality and that heart to really care and want to serve your customers. It's just a standard expectation that we expect to make sure that we're upholding that level of what we believe in. The next thing is just taking ownership of mistakes. Everybody makes them, but you can't grow from mistakes that you don't own. So when it comes time to own up to mistakes, again, you give a lot of grace. That's how we're all going to grow together. So take ownership of your mistakes, and lastly, always represent our group.
Sure.
Anything else?
Well, just a good segue into really, you guys kind of like breaking down, where we're heading, who we are, where we came from, who the team is, what you guys can expect from, joining this journey and, committing to it. What we're willing to do to invest in you guys. There's nothing that we want to do to give you the tools and help propel you guys to succeed. And it's fun because in this journey, like we get to do it. It's almost like a second pilot. We've done this before, but we get to run it back and do it better, and also propel us into the next section of opportunity, the next level. So,
well, I really appreciate everyone being here today. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed, day one of this process, and there's a lot more to learn. So, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy lives to be here so that we can all, be on the same page and be on this journey together. So,
and a lot of stuff, moving forward is going to be real interactive. There's going to be a lot of documentation that you're going to be able to take with you, the equipment with you, and study and those type of things to really understand, all the pivots and understanding of all things like that. And our process and the system internally and externally, and then sales velocity. So.
Anybody have anything that they'd like to add or questions or anything?
What's on the topic for tomorrow?
Topic for tomorrow is we'll recap some of the stuff that we went through today, and I'll just go back to our calendar. There's going to be certain things where, you know, I know you guys know these things, and you don't have to get it on. Dismiss.
We're trying to grow them to where, like, when it's like some basic entry level stuff, we obviously don't want you guys in here, but like some new legal stuff, you know, the new legal team that's coming in, kind of helped us to really, like, so it's really imprinted in everybody's minds as we, you know, try to, you know, when we're going out here trying to work with these denied claims, because really the insurance companies won the first round, 100%. That's this, you know, how many, you know, the percentage of retail bids that we gave is just proof of the lower percentage of profitability that the company's got the you know, bidding from.
Mm-hmm.
So now going in, there's a lot of denied claims that are just sitting out here and shorted claims that we're going to be able to wrestle through and have a lot of success. And so, you know, how each of us do that, I think is going to be one of the most important pieces for all of us to be equipped with and be, you know, pursue business.
Mm-hmm. So that's what tomorrow's going to get into. So we did the meeting with the team today. I bumped that up. So we'll get in same thing tomorrow. Melissa's going to get your photos and make sure you have shirts on. Do the same thing. We sit down and we'll order lunch. I'll have a short roofing or a short test on some of the stuff that we covered today. And then I'm going to go straight into staff workflow. So that way you understand from, you know, from before the lead to even acquired, stuff like that, understanding how that all flows through our system, who does what, and what everyone's involvement is and responsibilities are in that flow of getting the job through the system. So staff workflow, we'll spend about an hour on tomorrow. Then we're going to go into inspection procedures, like understanding what quotas you need to take out on projects, and a Rooflink's introduction. That's going to be led by Melissa.
That one's really important. Who here is you? Did either of you guys use Rooflinks before? No. And most of you guys, who's all only Jack's really open and Zach are well versed in that. But there's so much more that the program can do. The cool thing is, like, Rooflink will call Melissa and ask her questions. So that's crazy. She didn't develop the program. She's so versed in it, and it's, you know, and has used it so well that she could really empower all of us. And it's a great software, and we spent lots of time. You know, everything in the background, there's lots of time and energy spent into it. So this program allows you to sit at the table, you know, even before you get there, have the roof measured, and then everything populates where you can give an estimate right there. And it gives you all the different roofing systems that you can just push a button and say, here's 10 different estimates off of like a 5 to 10 minute drawing. And it looks professional. If you want to give me a diagram, it looks just like a eagle diagram. So, yeah, that would be a vital session for you guys to try to be in. So if you guys have appointments or adjustments, try to, you know, move around that time right there. And just get with Julius and say, hey, you know, I got these things going on. Wednesday, the legal team's coming in, Jimmy's going over some financial process, which some of you guys are familiar with.
Yeah, so I'll go through the calendar of books I'm working and kind of see what each day has on them. So Rooflinks is going to be the main focus tomorrow, understanding the systems, get you guys set up. So if you don't have iPads and stuff like that, you know, we need to make sure that we know who has what. Everyone's going to get a company phone, so we're still working on getting all that stuff set up because we're switching providers. So we're working on all that stuff. You guys will have your company phones with your business card that associates with that stuff and iPads. So we will get the proper tools to be able to do all this stuff. But we'll go through, we'll practice, we'll learn and understand how Rooflinks works, all the boxes that you have to check in order to get the jobs through to completion. So day 3, we have Brian Chable coming in. He's going to do some heavy metal roof training. So for those of you who don't understand metal roofing, the guy's a guru, and he's going to come in here to teach us everything that you could ever know about metal roofing. So that way you can explain it to your customers and understand it yourself. Then the legal team.
Yeah, and he's going to go over some new product opportunities that we can sell and be more competitive. Some of these price points are coming in so low, but now we can offer that service as well.
Yeah. So he's going to train you, focus on that stuff. Then So that's going to run us from 9 to 10:30, from 10:30 to 11:15. The legal team is going to come in. They're going to explain how that process works, things that you can and can't say, how to live in the gray area. And those guys are super important. Zach Jordan knows that very well. And for us that were, back at Grassman, understand the denial process. The denial process is a great process because instead of having to make an exchange of money right then and there at the table, they're signing up and you getting you on the roof and it's going to get paid for.
Yep.
So you just start pile up jobs. The easiest sale ever to pile up jobs that are going to come fat as hell, that are going to, make everybody money. It's not always going to be immediate money because the legal team has to go through the process and procedure to get it approved. So they'll go through, they'll explain that. During lunch, we'll just throw up a metal roofing video, sell back in, there'll be a metal roofing test on West Virginia.
So if this roof has damage, we're battling 1,000.
Yeah.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On every single product. And so the key is getting on as many roofs as you can and getting into the legal system when it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Homeowners here saying, oh, you need repairs to our roof. You go in and say, oh, yeah, well, I see you need repair, but you can't get your full roof replaced.
As well as strategy to get more business once you're building in that neighborhood.
Yeah. Day 4, Thursday, is going to be a recap of roofing system. So we'll go in on almost any pitched roofing system, whether it be shingle, tile, or any type of metal. You see on the wall here, there's different systems. So we're going to explain how all the different systems work. There's different grades of underlayments. There are types of flat roofing, and just do the roofing process, like I said, on city roofing is a continuing process. It's not something you're learning every day on. It's something takes a lot of practice. So we'll at least give an idea to everybody to understand what each system is. And then Tanner is coming in from Texas, like I said, we're going to go through and work on, how to, generate leads. So we call it our door knock. That's your foot in the door to any opportunity. So how to door knock, or how to present yourself from the beginning, how to overcome objections, how to run the appointment, the formality of the appointment, on how it's actually conducted. And then we'll go into lunch. Through these days while we're here, we're going to try to encourage everybody to, after our meetings in the evenings, we're going to put together some prizes, cash prizes and stuff like that for anyone who can, come back in the following day and say, hey, I set 3 appointments. Because what I then want to do is after 1 o'clock, I'll try to make myself available to go out with anyone who wants me to go out with them to run some appointments in the evenings and see if we can close some deals during this week. It's a lot of fun. It makes some money. So that's all great. Then we're going to get into tile roofing with Jeff Palmer. He is the director for this region for Laurel. So he's going to come in and explain tile roofing, how the tile process is done. If you guys want to know how the tile is made, you learn all that stuff. Delivery schedules and how all that stuff works. They'll go over it.
Tanner's not only does he's our rep for Mid-Atlantic, but he ran before he was on the contractor side. Then he was on the sales board side, and then went into manufacturing side.
Mm-hmm.
So, he ran a big organization, training sales guys. Mm-hmm. So he's super equipped, and he's so experienced. And now that he's connected with so many roofing companies, he's super talented. He really knows what the heck he's doing.
Yeah, he used to run a consulting business for roofing companies. He'd come into roofing locations, and those guys are like $10,000 a day. To have him come in and to do consulting to teach people how to close jobs and how all this stuff works. So he's coming in to do it for us, which is great. And then lastly, finish out, we'll go over some basic stuff on how to close. Last day Friday is going to be same thing in the morning, followed by going over insurance, how to write down insurance paperwork, how to understand the insurance process. We're going to build a couple mock-up roofs, kind of like the one that Jack actually built up in the front office. So when you guys go in the front office, you'll see a stone-coated steel roof. Jack right here built that, and he posted it on the wall. We're going to do the same thing so you guys can understand the basics of how roofing systems are built. We'll do lunch. We'll go into commercial roofing with Terry, and then there'll be a test on everything, and we're just going to hang out, barbecue, play some games. And then this weekend, if everyone's still around, plan out some, golf outing or fishing or something fun for the end of the week. So that's what all that stuff looks like. And I will actually say you guys can leave your core value stuff on the table and just clean up your guys' workstations. And if you guys have anything, great. Gentlemen, get the heck out of here and hang out, do whatever you want. Thank you.
I'm gonna go home.